Forex transactions, an enigma. The concept of value dates exists because money has a time value, meaning its worth changes over time due to the accrual of interest. Since interest rates differ across countries, the resulting exchange rate also varies accordingly. For a forex transaction, the value date should fall on a business day when both financial centers involved in the exchange are open and operational. With advancements in technology, such as the internet and satellite communications, real time transactions have become increasingly seamless. There are a few standard nomenclatures for value dates in forex transactions. Let's dive into them one by one with examples. The first one is ready or cash or value today. Means rate which is quoted for the transaction which is going to be settled immediately on the date of the contract. Let's understand with an example. For example, a forex contract is entered on January 5th and the transaction is completed on January 5th itself. That is, both the cash flows in INR and USD settled the same day. The next one is Tom, value tomorrow or next business day. That is, rate which is quoted for the transaction which is going to be settled on the next business day from the contract date. Let's understand with an example. For example, a forex contract entered on January 13th will be settled on January 14th, assuming there is no public holiday. That is, both cash flows settled the next business day. The next one is spot value on the second business day. Means a transaction which is entered on spot value date condition. The exchange of currencies takes place on the second business day to the transaction date. Let's understand with an example. For example, a forex contract entered on Monday will be settled on Wednesday, assuming both financial centers are operational. If entered on Thursday, it will be settled on Monday, since forex markets are closed on weekends. That is, both cash flows settled on Wednesday or Monday. The next one is forwards. That is, any value date beyond spot. A forward exchange contract is an obligation entered into between a bank and its customers to buy or sell a specified foreign currency for a fixed amount at a pre-arranged rate of exchange for delivery on an agreed fixed date on or any day between two agreed dates, which is referred to as option period. The option period not exceeding 1 month under Indian regulations. Forward exchange contracts are of two types: fixed date delivery forward contract and option period forward contract. Let's understand them one by one. The first one is fixed forward contract, under which the delivery of foreign exchange is scheduled to take place on a specified future date. Keeping in view the practical scenarios, an exporter or an importer may not always be in a position to exactly specify the future date of performance under the contract due to external and internal factors. Under such unpredictable circumstances, a customer can opt for option period forward contracts. The next one is option forward contracts. That is, forward exchange contracts in which the customer opts for a choice between various delivery dates. The option period not exceeding month as per FDI rules. There are certain rules for determining value dates of standard maturities of forward transactions. Let's understand them one by one. Rule 1, that is general rule for determining the value date. In general, the value date of a 1 month forward contract will be the date in the next month corresponding to the spot value date. Let's understand with an example. For example, a transaction done on Wednesday, that is the 5th March for a month. The value date for a spot transaction will be Monday, that is 7th April, and the value date of a 1 month forward transaction undertaken on 5th March will be 7th April. Next is Rule 2. If the calculated value date is a holiday in either center. If the value date so calculated happens to be a holiday in either center, the subsequent business day will be the value date. However, if this means a change of month, the preceding business day would become the value date. Let's understand with an example. For example, a transaction involving rupees done on Tuesday, 25th February 2025. Spot date is 28th February, Friday 2025. 26th February, Wednesday 2025 being a holiday in India. The 1 month forward transaction will therefore have 28th March, Friday 2025 as the value date. But if 28th March happens to be a holiday, the subsequent business day is 1st April 2025 as 31st March holiday in India. But this means a change of month. Therefore, the preceding business day, namely 27th March, would become the value date for the 1 month forward contract. The next is Rule 3. No change in the month. The rule of no change in the month also applies in cases where the month in question does not have a date corresponding to the spot date. Let's understand with an example. The spot date for a transaction done on Monday, that is 27 January, will be 29th January. So, for a 1 month forward done on 27 January, since there is no such date as 29th February except leap year, the 1 month forward contract will mature on 28th February. Assume that 28th February happens to be a Sunday. So, the value date for a 1 month forward contract done on 27 January will be 26th February. The next is Rule 4. If the spot date is the last date of the month. There is another exception in cases where the spot date is the last date of the month. In that case, the value date for a 1 month forward contract is the last business day of the subsequent month. Let's understand with an example. If spot date is 28th February, 1 month forward will be 31st and not 28th March. Next is, if the transactions relating to forward transactions of foreign exchange having various maturities like of 1 month or 2 months, etc., applies on various deposits and loans made between the parties. If either party to the transaction doesn't have precise data on which he can decide the date of exchange, then they can enter into forward a transaction which in turn provide an option to determine the value date within the duration of the transaction or the period as decided or prescribed. For example, an importer who would like to buy the foreign currency from bank so as to make the payment to other party can enter into a forward contract with banker so as to decide the date of exchange of the currencies with the banker. He can decide the date within the period as prescribed in the contract after taking into various considerations as per the need of the transaction. In caption examples, weekends skipped, that is Saturday and Sundays, due to Forex holidays. For 2, 3 and 4 months forward, same rules applicable. Thank you so much.